Welcome to the 24-hour readathon. While I am mostly awake, I'm gonna make a coffee and then we're gonna get started. We are only about an hour into the readathon, but I'm having such a good time with this book and I needed to stop and talk about it. So I'm on page 104 of Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I picked this up kind of on a whim because I really wanted to kick off this readathon with something that was bingeable, something I could just get into easily and finish within a few hours. This has proven to be the perfect readathon book. So this is a part of her Lunar Chronicles, which are these standalone novels all about fairy tale retellings. This one, Cinderella, of course. We're in this world that is like a new Beijing. It's Earth, but in the future, if you will. And so there's a deadly plague, and from space, a ruthless lunar people are watching, waiting to make their move. No one knows that Earth's fate hinges on one girl. Cinder, our main female character, who is a 16-year-old, a gifted mechanic, and is a cyborg. She is second-class citizen with a mysterious past and is revealed by her stepmother. The worst, but when her life becomes intertwined with the handsome Prince Kai's, she suddenly finds herself at the center of an intergalactic struggle and a forbidden attraction. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I have really enjoyed the first 100 pages of this. It's been so easy to get into and just kind of already care about our characters and certain like side characters. We've been introduced to just about everyone, I think. It's been interesting kind of seeing those developments just in the first 100 pages and kind of understanding those different dynamics. There's already questions I'm having about this plague and the kind of cure that we're trying to find and all of it. Like, I'm having a really good time. So I'm going to continue reading on with this, but I just wanted to stop and at least give you guys my first reading update, because what happens if I just finish it and we never talk about it? So I'm trying to be better about reading updates. We are at the 3-hour mark and I'm here with another reading update. So I am on page 336. I only have this little bit left. So we are definitely in the home stretch. It is getting so good. We are at the point in the book where we have the Cinderella ball. You can't have a Cinderella retelling without a ball. And this is where everything's gonna come together. We're seeing so many twists and turns and reveals, and we're about to see how all of that is gonna come to head. And I'm very excited because it's just getting so good. We just had our main character announced. From this point moving forward, I expect chaos. I am thinking it is quite a chilly day today, but Milo's been cooped up all day and I think I want to take him on a walk. It's been raining the last few days, so really he's been cooped up the last few days. So I think even though it's gloomy outside and chilly, it's not raining. So I think I just want to bundle up and take him on a long walk. I'm just gonna bring my headphones and continue to listen to this. Let's go finish Cinder. We are back from our walk, and with 3.5 hours in, we have officially finished book 1. Now, I don't know what I was talking about because this is a series. I thought the Lunar Chronicles were these standalone stories in the same universe. False. Because this ending, oh, it left me wanting more. I need to know what happens next. I don't think I'm going to continue this in this readathon, but I will be continuing this series very soon. I just love the ending of this. The last 15% or so since we last chatted, it was so good. It was just so fast paced and I was just like, what's happening next? What's going on next? And then all these different kind of relationships and connections, and oh, so good. So good. And it just leaves you needing more. Like, I need to know what happens next. So this was such a great start to the readathon. I'm gonna make something to eat and think about what I want to start next. I'm caught between another book like this where it's just something easy to get into, something to fly through, or if I want kind of a deeper, more depth of a story. So I'll think on it and then we'll pick our next book. I have a reading update for you guys. So as you saw, I decided to pick up the House Saphir. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how I'm saying it. So this is a new release by Marissa Meyer. I don't remember how late of 2025 it came out, but I got it for Christmas and I was so excited to get it, but I knew I needed to be in the right mood to pick it up. I guess that's today. I guess we're just reading Marissa Meyer. I am on page 83, which I think is chapter 10. I don't know. I'm a good chunk of the way into it, so I'm gonna read you guys the synopsis because I don't want to say anything that isn't already revealed to you. We are following Mallory Fontaine, and she is a fraud. Though she comes from a long line of witches, the only magic she possesses is the ability to see ghosts, which is rarely as useful as one would think. She and her sister have maintained the family business, basically just selling bogus spells and different herbs and things like that. And she is conducting tours of the infamous mansion where the first of the Saphir murders took place. Mallory is a self-proclaimed expert on the Count Bastien Saphir, otherwise known as Monsieur Le Bleu. I'm not French, don't yell at me, who brutally killed 3 of his wives more than a century ago. But she never expected to meet Bastien's great-great-grandson and heir to the Saphir estate. Armand is handsome, wealthy, and gullible, the perfect mark. When he offers Mallory a large sum of money to rid his ancestral home of Le Bleu's ghost, she can't resist. A paid vacation at Armand's country manor? It's practically a dream come true, never mind the ghosts of murdered wives and the monsters that are as common as household pests. But when murder, again, comes to the House Saphir, Mallory finds herself at the center of the investigation and she is almost certain the killer is mortal. If she has any hope of cashing in on the payment she has promised, she'll have to solve the murder and banish the ghosts while upholding the illusion of witchcraft. So what I didn't know about this was that it is also a murder mystery. I feel like I just knew it was going to be another fantastical, kind of whimsical story in a way that Marissa Meyer always offers. But when I was deciding my next read for this readathon and I read the synopsis and realized we were also going to be diving into a murder mystery, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So at this point, we have reached going to the estate. As far as this like synopsis goes, we have just reached the Saphir estate and now we know more is going to ensue. So I'm excited to dive deeper into the plot. I'm going to keep reading and I'll check in later. I have another reading update for you guys. So I am on chapter 37, page 317. I think I'm about 75% of the way into it, so we have just a little bit left and I am having such a good time with this. I just feel like we're getting hit after hit in this readathon so far, and that's perfect. I would really recommend this book to the people that have wanted to get into gothic fantasy, but not sure if they want kind of those darker tones that a lot of that genre can bring. Marissa Meyer kind of lightens up the mood, but you still got the essence of a gothic fantasy in here, and I really, really enjoy it. I'm loving the plot. I'm loving the kind of mystery element of the murder side and kind of who's involved, who's telling the truth, who's lying, like how are people working together maybe. Like I just love that plot on top of just like our main character. She's so fun and I love her and her sister. And then we have the Saphir estate. Like that house is crazy. The ghosts are such a fun part of this because there's nice ghosts and then there's not so nice ghosts, and I just love all of the elements of the story so far. So I'm curious to see how it wraps up and if I still feel so good about it with the last 25%. I'm just gonna continue reading and I will probably check in when we finish this and we're figuring out what to read next. We are about 8 hours into the readathon and I've just finished our second book. The House Saphir was so good. I feel like the best way to describe it is a fun gothic fantasy. If that's something that interests you, I highly, highly, highly recommend this book. I just had such a good time with it from start to finish. And it finished so strong. Like, the ending of this was so wild. I feel like there was just so much going on in the best way. And I don't like it when a book kind of wraps up at like the 80% mark or 85 and then you're like, okay, so like what are we even doing here? Like, no, it was really taking you up to the end with everything going on to resolve all the mysteries and all of the ghosts and all of the reasons of everything. Like, I just think Marissa Meyer killed it with this. So I'm so glad that I picked this up and I highly, highly, highly recommend it. I think I'm gonna take a little breather and then figure out what I want to pick up next. Good morning, I'm here with a reading update before we continue on with the readathon. So I read until about midnight last night. We have 11 hours and 22 minutes left on the clock. And you guys saw that I decided to pick up Mother of Death and Dawn. This is book 3, the finale of the War of Lost Hearts trilogy. You guys, I read book 1, Daughter of No Worlds, in January, and I thought I was the last person on earth to read it, but in case I'm not, go pick it up. All 3 books are on Kindle Unlimited, and then I've been checking out the audiobooks from Libby, so it's been the best time, but I will be buying these books physically. I know that they are re-releasing in new covers, and I'm obsessed with those covers, so as they come out in paperback, I'm snagging them. I finished book 2 just last week, and I immediately went and downloaded book 3 because it ended in such a way that I was craving more of the story. So I am so glad that I decided to pick this up. I thought I was gonna read another kind of shorter book. No, I was looking at my physical TBR. You guys were seeing me just like staring at my books. Nothing was calling to me. So I decided to go ahead and pick this up and I read 65% of it. I'm on chapter 78. These chapters are quite short. I love all the POVs we get and those stories kind of merging. We see how they merge by the end of book 2 because we have these characters and there's POVs kind of introduced in book 2. But here we get to see more of that immersion and oh, I love it so much. All of these plot lines are so good. This book gives me Throne of Glass feels of the obsession, of the depth of the story and the characters and just everything that they're going through. I'm okay. I'm okay. I can't wait to continue this. We are obviously going to be wrapping up this morning with it. I think I only have about 2.5 hours left. I'm not entirely sure, but I need to go ahead and get to reading. Otherwise, we're not going to finish this readathon today like I hope to. We do have some reading sprints that we're doing on live stream and later, so I'm excited to do that and read with everyone. But for now, I need to make, I think, a matcha. I think I'm in the mood for a matcha. And then I also need something to eat because I am starving. So I think I'm going to put on my headphones, get to listening, make my stuff, and then sit down with my Kindle. So let's get to reading. I have a reading update for you guys. We have 8 hours and 33 minutes left, and I have finished Mother of Death and Dawn. It finished so strong. I have no notes. This was just done so well. So well. Like, why didn't I read this sooner? Like, what was I doing? That was just incredible. If you want a fantasy with depth, characters you will grow to care so much for, this trilogy. That's all I can say. Like, I just found it to be so perfect. So perfect. We have life sprints in 20 minutes, so I'm gonna just like get situated, get a drink, maybe get a little snack, and make sure everything's good because I'm using a different like streaming platform. I'm testing that out today, so we're gonna see how it goes. I tried to do a little test stream earlier this morning and it seems to go okay, so we'll see how it goes, but we have that to kind of look for. So I am going to read the Book of Life. I am already on chapter 6, page 81, so I'm about 15% of the way into it. It is just such a dense book that I've been putting it off in this readathon, but now I'm ready. I have a few books under my belt. I read an incredible fantasy story. I'm excited to get back into this one. This is also book 3 in the trilogy, A Discovery of Witches, or is it? It's the All Souls like trilogy, but A Discovery of Witches is book 1 that I feel like most people are familiar with. So this is concluding that, and I'm excited to hopefully finish another trilogy in this readathon. I mean, with 8.5 hours left, I should be able to, in theory. So I am going to go ahead and get started on this, and I will update you during sprints if I feel the need to. Otherwise, I'll probably just check in with you guys whenever we're done. I'm officially done with reading sprint, and we have 6 hours and 15 minutes left on the timer. I had to stop in the middle of a chapter, but I'm on page 214, about 38% of the way into it. I really just like, I need you guys to understand, this is crazy. Like, the margins are non-existent on this page, and I swear the font is like a size or 2 smaller than normal. There's just so many words in this book. And it's just crazy to think about the audiobook being 24 hours. I mean, obviously I'm not listening to it at 1x speed, but it's just thinking about consuming a book that big. That's no easy feat. I think this is like 550 pages, but definitely a longer 550 pages. So we're making slow but steady progress, and I'm having a really good time with this book. This is the conclusion to the trilogy, so it's just seeing how everything is going to wrap up. I don't know, I'm on the edge of my seat. We're definitely making progress in a lot of areas, but I feel like there's a couple different plot lines that I'm just like, what's going to happen? Because we're not like focused on those right now, but I know it's going to come back and it's going to be important. Vampires, witches, science, history, like we have it all in this, and I really love how they are making the witches and vampires in this world feel so real. Like that, I think, is what's incredible, because you're having these professors and these scientists that have been studying this. Either they are witches and vampires themselves, or they're humans and they're getting thrown into it, or whatever it is, and just like seeing that progression through the trilogy and having our author just kind of talk about that in such a real way. I think I learned that Deborah Harkness is a like history professor. I feel like there's something historic in her background, as like she got her degree in this. I think she teaches it, and that's crazy. Like the last book, book 2, I wanted to pick up a history book after reading that, and that's crazy for me to say. So like we're getting some touches of that here, but I feel like this pulls a lot more of the science aspect into it. Not like heavy, I mean, they say things, but it really doesn't matter if you understand it or not. I think I just like that we're getting that, and it's making it feel very real, and like we're really gonna discover the origin of vampires and witches and all that, and it just feels like I'm unraveling a scientific discovery, and that's such a fun time. Meanwhile, people do want other people dead, so high stakes, if you will, but still really good time. And I'm excited to continue this. So I'm gonna take a little break just to get something to snack on. I think maybe I'll take Milo out, even though he's now asleep again, so maybe I'll wait until he wakes up. But in the last sprint, he ran crazy. He was like getting the zoomies in just like a burst of energy to where he like knocked over a cushion on my couch. Look. I look over and I see that. What happened? But now he is just asleep. It's the next day and you guys saw me finish the Book of Life last night. I am so glad that I picked this up and I'm officially finished with the All Souls trilogy. I feel like I recommend this for the people that love witches, they love vampires, but all the stories they read, they just want more. I just want more to a plot, more to the characters, more intricacies of just a well-told story. This is for you. And because of that, because it can be so dense at times, I highly recommend the audiobooks because I feel like when I get stuck at different points, I feel like the audiobooks just kind of like help keep me going. So I really loved reading these physically, but I do think the audiobooks have really helped me with that. So you guys saw me finish this with 1 hour and 18 minutes left on the timer, and I'm gonna be honest, it was like 9 p.m. I was so, not like tired, but I was definitely getting sleepy. I feel like my brain was definitely exhausted from all the reading I did this weekend. So I was like, do I really want to start a new book at 9 p.m. and have that kind of affect the reading experience? So I decided to go to bed and we're going to finish that 1 hour and 18 minutes now. Now I am caught between two books, both on Kindle Unlimited, and I am basically deciding on whether or not I want to start a new series or continue a series. So I posted a poll asking just that on Instagram. So I want to see what you guys picked. 85% continue a series. I'm really glad that I did the poll like this because if I did titles, I knew the new series one would have won. So the two books I was caught between was Daggermouth, because that is the dystopian everyone's talking about right now. So that is starting a new series. And then the book I wanted to continue is The Second Sanctum by A.N. Horton. This is an indie author that I really loved her first book, The Third Ring. It just felt like such a cool dystopian with like trials, but like the trials were unique to me and anything I'd read before. I really loved their characters and the world, and like I just loved what she created. So I knew I really wanted book 2 ASAP with the way book 1 ended, and this I think came out within the last couple of months. So I was just stuck between what I wanted to read. Now these don't have audiobooks, and I'm someone that definitely loves to have that alongside reading physically, so we'll see how this goes, but let's start the clock, start our next book, and I will see you in 1 hour and 18 minutes. We have officially finished the readathon, so let's talk about all the books I read. We kicked it off with something easy to get into. I absolutely love this story. We read Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I didn't realize that this was the start to a series. I thought they were just a bunch of interconnected standalones. I am very excited to see where this goes. I think I'm gonna land on a 3.5 star for it. But then I couldn't get enough of Marissa Meyer, so we then picked up The House Saphir. This is her newest release. I had an incredible time with this story. It is gothic fantasy in a lighter tone, a very fun, whimsical, just like ghost story, and you have a murder mystery going on. I just really enjoyed where this story went. I think I'm gonna give it 4.25 or 4.5. We'll have to see whenever I make my Goodreads review. I am still speechless over The Mother of Death and Dawn. This is the conclusion to War of Lost Hearts trilogy by Carissa Broadbent. I'm in love with this story. I'm in love with the characters, the plot, everything that happened. 5-star book, 5-star trilogy. If you get anything from this video, it is to please go read this. All of the ebooks are on Kindle Unlimited. I checked out the audiobooks from Libby, but you could also check out the ebooks from Libby. No excuses. This was such an incredibly just motivating story of our characters and everything they went through. I love the world, the plot, the political intrigue, our characters' growth, all the side characters, found family. It had everything. And then it became about finishing trilogies, because then I picked up The Book of Life by Deborah Harkness. This is concluding the All Souls trilogy. I absolutely loved A Discovery of Witches. That first book just got me interested in witches and vampires and a deeper, more just depth to a story. And then I read book 2. Suddenly I was interested in history, wanting to go check out historical books. Book 3 wrapped everything up perfectly. This is for the people that love witches, they love vampires, they just want more to a story. They want a lot more depth, a lot more things happening, and a lot more characters to just absolutely fall in love with. And then with 1 hour and 18 minutes left, I went ahead and picked up The Second Sanctum by A.N. Horton. I am really liking the first 15%. We're gonna have to see where the story goes. I can't really speak to this, but I do want to pull up book 1 and kind of give you guys a glimpse as to what the story is about. So we have 10 trials, 2 oaths, 1 chance. To Adrian, the gods were never anything to be worshipped, just tolerated. But in the walled city of Sanctuary, whether through the religious fervor of the elite or the quaking fear of the poor, the Geist have always been served, and now it's Adrian's turn. Born into power and raised for greatness, Dante stands for everything Adrian has come to despise, but he may be her only hope of survival. When the two of them are bonded against their will and forced to compete together in the trials, the gods' ancient gauntlet of physical brutality and psychological torture, they have no choice but to set aside old prejudices and work together. Navigating religious zealots, a patriarch intent on breeding the pair for power, and the increasingly obvious cruelty of the gods, Adrian must come to terms with the fact that whether culled or championed, we all serve the gods in the end. And for her, betrayal has always been waiting just around the corner. So you have this world of 3 kind of rings of society, the top ring being elite, the third ring being the lowest and kind of poverty, if you will. And then there are people that are cold, that are just called as a sacrifice to the gods in a way. And then you have people that are participating in trials where, you know, for a millennia, it feels like no one's made it beyond the 4th trial. And then you kind of hit a point that you kind of opt out or you keep going and you want to make it through all 10 trials. It's insane. Like, those trials are really just testing your different skill sets, but also like your mental, physical strength. It was very interesting. It's not something where you're thrown in and then you do them back to back. It's like you go, you compete. If you accomplish that, then you can come back and you can train for the next one. So I liked it. It was really good. I gave it 4.5 stars. The ending shocked me, jaw on the floor. And then book 2 is picking up exactly where that ended. So I'm really liking that part and just seeing where characters are at. And you're already thrown into a couple other POVs and characters that we saw from book 1. I like it so far. So that's kind of a glimpse. It's more of a dystopian vibe, but there are magical elements, so I'm sure it's considered fantasy, but it definitely has this dystopian feel. And that was the last book that we talked about for the readathon. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love a good readathon. I love just being able to sit, to rot, to read. It was an amazing weekend. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.